Kay, a mom of 5, grandma of 15 and great-grandma of 37, died at age 97 in 2019. Not that many of us think ahead and design our own tombstone before we pass, but she was an exception. You know what I want. I want my fudge recipe on there, Kay said. According to her son Steve Andrews, Kay was known for sharing her famous fudge with family and friends, so the recipe was a natural choice to represent her on the stone. Steve told KSL that the gravestone became so popular, people began to refer to that part of the cemetery as Kay's fudge. Another of her sons would take her to the cemetery and introduce Kay to the workers there, explaining the story behind the recipe. The recipe is simple and straightforward. No room for fancy ruminating when you're engraving words in stone. Briefly, the recipe as presented on the headstone had a typo, calling for a tablespoon of vanilla instead of a teaspoon, but that's been fixed. I work at a local hospital and another job part-time, so I'm always on the lookout for good, quick recipes to fix for my family. Some of my coworkers and I exchange recipes. This zippy casserole is one that was brought to a picnic at my house. People raved over it. Diane Esposito, New Middletown, Ohio. This creamy, cheesy casserole is so hearty and homey that second helpings are a must. Lynn German, Woodland Hills, California. Here's a tasty way to stretch your grocery dollar. Pork shoulder roast is combined with orzo, peppers and mole sauce to make a spicy Mexican comfort food. Carrie Whedon, South Beloit, Illinois. Here's a family-pleasing casserole that comes together in a snap, making it perfect for a weeknight meal. Double the recipe and freeze one for later. Bernice Knutson, Soldier, Iowa. I got this recipe from my mother and love it because it's easy and I've usually got the ingredients on hand. It freezes well, so I can have an extra ham and cheese casserole handy for when guests show up. Everyone always likes it. There are never leftovers. Jan Shoshki, Brookville, Kansas. The name of this Italian-inspired dish means baked pasta with beans. But my busy family translates it as super satisfying dinner. Cindy Preller, Grayslake, Illinois. I love to cook but just don't have much time. This casserole is both comforting and fast, which makes it my favorite kind of recipe. I serve it with a green salad. Jenna Coffee, Sunset Hills, Missouri. A home-style Tex-Mex casserole is all it takes to gather the whole family around the dinner table. With its popular flavors and bubbly cheese topping, there is never a need to worry about leftovers. Celine Weldy, Cave Creek, Arizona. Ground beef, sausage and cheese make this tater tot casserole with green beans a crowd pleaser. Cayenne pepper and hot Italian sausage give it a pleasant kick. Ryan Jones, Chillicothe, Illinois. This quick, easy recipe is truly delicious. The succulent, melt-in-your-mouth seafood flavors and textures make for elegant comfort food. To make ahead, just assemble, cover and refrigerate, then bake when ready. Jan Bartley, Evergreen, North Carolina. This pasta is a must-try smoked sausage recipe. It just tastes so good when it's hot and bubbly from the oven. The cheddar French fried onions lend a cheesy, crunchy touch. Margaret Wilson, Sun City, California. Mother frequently made this comforting chicken tortilla casserole when I was growing up. Our family would scrape the pan clean. Chicken, cheese and zippy green chilies are a mouthwatering mix. Jerry Moorer, Rio Rancho, New Mexico. No one will be able to resist the classic trio of ham, Swiss and potatoes in this comforting bake. It was the result of creative experimentation when I wanted to use up ingredients I had on hand. I sometimes replace the ham with turkey ham. Sarah Wilhelm, Elkhart, Illinois. This versatile side dish is so good with grilled steak, and is delicious with other meats as well. A creamy cheese sauce and crunchy topping make this potato casserole popular for family dinners and potlucks. Teresa Stutzman, Adair, Oklahoma. This over-the-top breakfast has great flavors, smoky, sweet and spicy. It's a really meaty meal. Thomas Faglon, Somerset, New Jersey. In the South, everyone loves three things: bacon, cheese and grits. After playing around with this recipe, I took it to my first family party as a newlywed, and it was a huge hit. This recipe has become a family tradition that I'm sure will be passed down for generations. Melissa Rogers, Tuscaloosa, Alabama. A good friend shared a version of this recipe with me 35 years ago. I pay it forward by bringing the second casserole to friends when they are unable to cook. Helen McPhee, Savoy, Illinois. I've been making this mild family-pleasing Southwest casserole recipe for years. It tastes wonderful, fits nicely into our budget and, best of all, makes a second one to freeze and enjoy later. Joan Halford, North Richland Hills, Texas. My family loves these potatoes. I make a large batch in disposable pans and serve them at all our get-togethers. The holidays aren't the same without them. It's also a super recipe for Christmas morning brunch. Brenda Smith, Curran, Michigan. I made this tasty breakfast casserole with crescent rolls for a baby shower. It saved me. Preparing it ahead gave me more time to finish decorating for the party. Melody Craft, Conroe, Texas. Chili powder and picante sauce add just the right dash to this hearty main dish. It's a snap to assemble since it uses convenience foods. Teresa Peterson, Casson, Minnesota. This dish is hearty and perfect for warming up on a chilly winter evening. The aroma is almost as delightful as the dish itself. Frank Grady, Fort Kent, Maine. To make the most of leftover cornbread, try this hearty main dish casserole. It's moist, delicious and good on any occasion. Madge Britton, Afton, Tennessee. A Mississippi home cook gave me her recipe for grits casserole. It baked like traditional custard. I garnish it with parsley, crumbled bacon and cheese. Teresa Ligori, Elkridge, Maryland. A friend gave me this burrito casserole recipe and I modified it to fit our family. It's perfect for a brunch, because you can prep it the night before and bake it the next morning. Krista Yoder, Due West, South Carolina. Your family is going to gobble up this cheesy, southwestern and easy chicken enchilada casserole, and will ask for it again and again. It's real comfort food. Melanie Burns, Pueblo West, Colorado. This beef noodle casserole is perfect when there's a busy day coming up, because you can prepare it ahead of time. It's ideal for a potluck, too. The flavors blend together to create a delicious combination. Grace Lemma, Winton, California. When I was in the Navy, a co-worker's wife shared this recipe with me. I've tweaked it over the years, but it still brings back memories of my family away from home. Yvonne Cook, Haskins, Ohio. This is the recipe my daughters and I often make for new parents when they come home from the hospital. With its creamy spaghetti filling and melted cheese topping, this casserole holds a nice cut and comforts hungry tummies. Fanchon Resler, Bluffton, Indiana. On my busy days, I treasure meal in one recipes like this one. Toss together a salad, and dinner is ready in no time. Dorothy Weideman, Eaton, Colorado. My husband, Ronald, works long hours and frequently doesn't arrive home until past 7 p.m. This casserole is ideal for those late nights. It's just as tasty after it's been warmed in the microwave. Barb Marshall, Pickerington, Ohio. Your little ones who refuse to eat veggies won't complain one bit when you bring this cheesy casserole with a cornbread crust to the table. For picky eaters, try using less Cajun seasoning. Kelly Cheplich, Kenosha, Wisconsin. This flavorful casserole is a hearty mainstay for our family's Christmas Day brunch menu. Being able to assemble the recipe ahead of time is a real plus. Julie Sturchey, Jackson, Missouri.